you are welcome back. You're still watching Business Night on GNTV with me, Sandra Ofosu Dewornu. So just gone by was a phone interview with Benjamin Afre on Gold Coast Fund Management suing government and 3 or 4 other companies due to their indebtedness to the fund management, and due to that their inability to actually service their customers. And so it is time for us to delve into our main topic for tonight, and we are talking about empowering women entrepreneurs. We are talking about empowering women entrepreneurs, and we are actually focusing on NEWIG. And so we have been joined in the studio by Mawulawoe Anato-Dumelo. I hope I got it right. She's an acting executive director of NEWIG, and NEWIG actually stands for Network of Women in Growth. Network of Women in Growth. We will soon find out what really NEWIG is all about. And apart from Mawulawoe, we have also been joined in the studio by a beneficiary of the Network of Women in Growth, NEWIG, in the person of Belinda Akaba. Belinda Akaba has also joined us in the studio. So tonight we are empowering women entrepreneurs for development. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very
Mawulawoe
much.
And Belinda.
Yes.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, so stakeholders have built a case for higher representation of women in decision-making positions, with the knowledge that improving gender diversity in the workplace does not only benefit women. Mountain evidence shows that it is a boon to societies, that is beneficial to societies, economies, and enterprises themselves. And that actually goal 5 of the SDGs talks about gender equality, ending all discrimination against women and girls, not only as a basic human right, but it being crucial for sustainable future, proving that empowering women and girls helps economic growth and development. The stress here tonight is economic growth and development. So we want to find out from Mawulawoe. I love that name.
Thank you.
I want to find out from you, what really is NEWIG? What are you into?
Okay, so Network of Women in Growth is a non-profit organization, and we are an organization that believes in empowering women and girls. Basically, we focus on women from marginalized communities, women that are in rural areas, and girls that do not have the economic abilities to attain the heights that they want to attain. So NEWIG was formed in 2002 by a woman, Madam Mawulawoe, who believes in the empowerment of women. She's been in this space for over 10 years now, and she felt it was time she gives back to society and to women, because this is something she's passionate about. So instead of sitting at home and just talking about it, why not form an organization that seeks to actually do this for women? So it was formed out of a passion and a desire to see women from rural areas become economically empowered, because we believe that giving that woman that power gives her a voice. Normally women that don't have economic power they don't have a voice in society, they don't have a voice in their communities, and they just don't have a voice anywhere. So she believed that by giving women the skills that would enable them to start businesses on their own would be a path that would lead them to economic empowerment. So that's how come NEWIG was formed.
Okay, you've given us a fair idea about the background, the start of NEWIG. What exactly does NEWIG do?
So NEWIG provides skills. That's what we do. We provide entrepreneurship skills. We provide vocational skills as well. And currently we are also working in the male-dominated areas. So basically that's what we do. Such as driving. And now we have building construction as our new baby.
Okay.
Yes.
BC.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So that's what we have now. So basically we are into giving skills to women and girls in order for them to start their own businesses. Apart from that, we advise them, we give financial advice. We also educate them on their rights. So we are just our domain is more in the economic space.
Okay.
By providing them with the relevant and needed skills. Okay, to start their businesses.
Okay, so what are some of the considerable efforts NEWIG has put in place to ensure women are empowered?
Okay, so NEWIG, we've had donor agencies that have partnered with us to train women. Okay. We've been in the northern region. We've trained the Gambaga outcasts, women in the Gambaga outcasts. We've trained them in soap making. Okay. We've also trained in the northern region the fistula survivors. Okay. We've also trained them. We've trained the Kwabin, which is in the eastern region. Okay. So the Kwabin women's group over there, we've trained them. And when I say we've trained them, it's in the area of bead making, soap making, and tie and dye, fabric, textiles designing. So we've been across the length and breadth of this country. We've been in Accra. We've worked with NEMA. We've worked with Kayaye women, girls who are headquarters. So we are just a diverse organization. We are not seated in Accra, just working in Accra, but we are concentrating in all parts of the country.
Let me take your mind on the opportunities women entrepreneurs can actually get in our country, Ghana here.
There are many opportunities, but there are sort of like limitations.
Okay.
So there are limitations, and these challenges are linked to how women assess the opportunities.
Okay.
So you can't talk about the opportunities without talking about the challenges.
They go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand. So there are many opportunities out there. I believe in one thing, that the sky is big enough for everybody to have a piece of it.
There's a saying that there are a lot of stars in the sky, and no big star overshines a small star.
A small star.
You see each star distinctively.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, very true.
Yes.
So we believe that the opportunities are really great and they are out there, but unfortunately women have a lot of challenges. Some of these challenges include, especially for the rural woman, some of the challenges include lack of access to funds, which is finance, credit. Why do I say that? Yes, there are banks who give out loans, but the point is a lot of women have low savings. And in order for you to go to the bank to actually get a loan, you would have to provide some form of savings that you have.
A saving culture.
Yeah, you have to have that.
Yes.
And also, what are you bringing in exchange? Women don't, a lot of women here, especially rural women, don't own properties. So what is your collateral? So once you have those two things working against you as a woman, your access to funds is limited. Apart from that, one major thing which we seem to forget sometimes, or most times, is time constraints. A woman is a mother, she is a wife, she has to work. A woman has to close her shop very early because she has to go and pick up the kids from school. For the man, it's a bit different. So the man is probably at home, is probably in the office, still working, but the woman has to quickly wrap up to go and pick up the kids. That is a constraint against her. Access to land. A lot of women in this country don't have the opportunity to really own lands. And when I say this, I mean for the rural woman who is out there, not the urban. I'm not talking about the urban woman, but
is there any much difference between the rural and the urban woman?
Well, with the urban woman, I would say education helps.
Okay, yes, sure.
So education really helps a woman to have a voice because she knows her rights, she knows what needs to be done. Despite the fact that generally you can still face the same form of socio-cultural disadvantages, but when the woman has education, she knows what needs to be done, and she knows that you cannot tell me I can't have access to this land. Whereas in the village, it's a different whole ball game, because in that space is the chiefs and the men that are in charge, and it's more of a patriarchal system, especially when you're in the patriarchal society. So in that case, so you have a little bit of, you have an advantage for an urban woman as compared to the rural woman. So there are many opportunities, but unfortunately with the challenges that we have as women in this society, it seems that it pulls us down from actually reaching to those opportunities.
How best do you think these challenges can be addressed? Governments, for instance, NGOs like yourself, civil society organizations. How best do you think all of these agencies can gather their forces together and address some of these challenges? Because reports from UN agencies and all, some research they've done actually indicates that in fact the empowered woman is more than how many men. So how can all these agencies pool their resources together to help address these challenges?
So for us as NEWIG, what we do to address some of the challenges is, one, we give you access to education. So we educate the woman on her rights as a woman. Apart from that, we give you the skills to be able to start your own business.
Okay.
So that's another thing we do as an NGO. Okay. For in a broader sense, we should look at policy formulations that allow for full inclusion of women.
Okay.
That's what the government should look at. We have the affirmative action bill currently that is on the table for our parliamentarians to look at, and it's been a total drag.
Yes.
And that is one thing that would actually help women.
Yes.
Because we are asking for gender equity. Yes. So this is another area the government can look at, the passing of that bill into a law. CSOs have done a lot, coming together to organize workshops, to train women. WILDAF is a CSO that is working on helping women to have access to land. So a lot of CSOs are out there doing a lot of things, trying to empower, doing our best. No, we are actually doing what we can to empower women, but we are still having to break through that mindset of gender roles, having to break through all those things, and that only happens by having dialogue, especially with our male counterparts, for them to understand that empowering a woman is not a threat to your position, but it's actually an add-on to you. So another area to look at is dialoguing with our male counterparts, for them to realize that when we are talking about women empowerment, we are not fighting your position as a man, but it's an add-on to whatever you are doing as a man. So that is it. There are many things that the government should be doing and is doing with the introduction of the free SHS.
Yes.
So it's allowing more girls to be enrolled in school, and we are happy about that. Like the NHIS is also another avenue the government is doing. So women are having access to health care.
Yes.
So
free
it's free maternal health care, which is something very important to women.
And quite laudable.
Yeah, very laudable on the government's part to make sure that actually is working. So there are many policies, but we believe the government can do better.
Can do more.
The affirmative action bill, it needs to be passed.
Yes.
So yes, that's what I believe.
Let me try and bring Belinda into our conversation. Forgive me for having left you all this well, but once again, you are welcome to the show. Okay, so Belinda, tell us, how did you meet NEWIG?
Thank you very much for the question. There's I heard about NEWIG through my mom.
Okay.
Yes, please. She is part of the MPP platform, so that was where she saw it, and she asked me if I was interested. Okay. So I told her I was. So she asked me to apply for it, and I did. So after the application, then they called us to come for the training.
Okay. What exactly did you apply for?
This, I applied for the construction building. So when we got to where we're supposed to go to, then they gave us options where we would do general electricals, plumbing, or draughtsmanship.
Are you serious?
Yes.
This is laudable. This is very laudable, because from some of the research I mentioned earlier, women are mostly kind of limited to the human resources, you know, the human resources, the office, the soft in codes,
they'll carry the water,
you know. But it's interesting to know that you applied for BC. Okay, tell me more. So you applied for BC, building and construction.
Yes, please.
And then
so after the application, they called us and they gave us the options to do. So I then choose general electricals.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay, so for how long did you study?
That was 8 months course.
Okay.
Yes.
So for 8 months you've been trained in general electricals.
Yes.
So general electricals, what can you do now?
Yes, I can do a lot. When it comes to installation, domestic installation, I can do it.
Domestic installation
Yes,
of what?
Of electric. When, let me see, like a building, and you want a fan in it, that the domestic installation, it consists of the fan, the lighting system, the bell, and other electrical gadgets that are needed in a house.
This is quite impressive. I'm quite impressive by this. So have you completed the course? Have you graduated?
Please. Yes, please.
You have.
Yes.
So have you? We are talking about entrepreneurship. So
Yes,
I shouldn't ask whether you have been employed or you found a job. What are you doing with the skill that you've acquired?
Now I'm working with PDS. I'm doing my internship there.
Okay.
Yes, please.
All right. So after PDS, do you have any immediate intentions to actually start or set up your own small firm?
Yes, please. On our graduation, they were given some tools that will assist us when we want to establish our own shop and do what we want to do with it. So after the internship, I intend of having my own shop where I'll train other young ladies in my society to learn how to do the installations. Then when I gather some money through that, then I'll use it to send to the tertiary.
This is laudable. Congratulations, Belinda.
Thank you, please.
I don't see a lot of girls or women venture into that area. Yes, and it is quite laudable. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Keep it up. I wish your dream would really come true, and that you would actually get people to support you financially, because finance is a big issue.
It's a big issue.
Not only for women, but generally SMEs access of funds are quite an issue. So I wish that people watching this show tonight, somebody will be touched to want to sponsor Belinda to open her first shop. So I dare viewers, somebody should offer to sponsor Belinda open her first shop. So she's doing her internship with the PDS. So how long is the internship?
The internship is 2 months.
2 months.
Yes.
Okay,
please.
and you've done how many so far?
Just a week.
Just a week. Oh,
Yes,
okay.
please.
Okay, so you've got about a month and 3 weeks more.
Yes, please.
Wow. I'm impressed. I'm impressed with this and what NEWIG is doing in general.
And I must say, we didn't do this alone.
Okay.
We had funding from Empower Foundation, who is based in Canada, in the US actually.
In the US, okay.
The US and Canada. So
Okay.
confused. But that they have been the ones who have partnered with NEWIG to make our dream a reality. So we didn't just do this on our own, but we partnered with Empower Foundation, and they have stood by us, I must say. When we started to go into the male-dominated area, we first introduced professional driving, and they were the first organization that they were actually our donor organization that partnered with us, and they are also partnering with us to do this training for women in building construction. So we are really grateful to Empower, and we are calling on other organizations to also partner with NEWIG so we can do this for more women and more girls.
Wow, I am thrilled by this discussion. I'm particularly thrilled by Belinda's course that she chose. Well, it's not too out of the ordinary, because I did computer science for my first degree, just and I didn't really practice it. But I'm quite thrilled by the building and construction that Belinda took, and she's doing some domestic installations of electrical gadgets and appliances in the homes. So on this note, business night will go for a quick break. When we come back, there is more to talk about on the empowering women entrepreneurs for development. We have NEWIG in the studio as our focal case study for tonight. We'll be right back. You are still watching the Business Night on GNTV with me, Sandra Ofosu Dewornu, and tonight we have in the studio two beautiful women. We are talking about empowering women entrepreneurs for growth and development, and our focus tonight is on NEWIG, which stands for Network of Women in Growth. And so just before we went on break, we had a beneficiary of NEWIG telling us about how she heard about NEWIG, how she got enrolled and chose to do building and construction, and eventually did general electricals, and the fact that she can actually come and fix all your electrical situations at home for you. I am thrilled by that. And so let's get more into this particular discussion and speak to Mawulawoe and find out other courses that NEWIG teaches young women entrepreneurs. Mawulawoe,
Yes.
we just got back from the break. We were behind the scene. We were talking about the other
modules,
courses,
yeah.
the other modules. Yes,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit more.
Okay, so we partnered with NVTI,
Okay.
specifically with the New Career Training Institute.
Okay.
So they are the ones that actually gave the training to these young girls, and we had 3 modules in mind: plumbing, draftsmanship, and electricals, general electricals. So when they came, they had the option of choosing where they wanted to be. So some of them, I think 3 ladies chose draftsmanship.
Okay.
A couple of them chose plumbing, and then the others also chose general electricals. So that's the model we have under the building construction. We are hoping in the future to introduce more, but for now we are working with these 3 models. So that is it. A New Career Training Institute has been superb in giving the ladies these training, and that especially with the limited time that they had.
Okay.
So they've been very, very, very efficient and effective in doing the training for these girls.
Wow, this is quite impressive. So how many students do you have in all, or have you ended a course? How many students did you have?
Okay, so we had 15. We worked with 15 young ladies.
Okay.
So they just graduated about 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay.
They just graduated, and currently we are looking at rolling out a second cohort.
Okay.
We are waiting for our partner donor organization, but we are ready. We know that we are going to get funding. We are calling on other organizations to also partner with NEWIG so that we can train more women. Because of funding, limited funds, we have a fixed number we work with, which is 15 ladies. But but right now applications are open.
Okay.
Any young lady out there that is interested in this area can call us, and and fill out the application forms, and then go through the whole process of selection. So that is it. So we are ready. We are planning to run the second cohort for the young ladies in building construction program.
Wow, this is a laudable thing you are doing, and we hope that you would really get the funding to help a lot more women. This is quite laudable. But let me get your what you think about this. In your opinion, at what stage should young girls begin to think and view things in a way of trying to solve problems? Primary, JHS, SHS, tertiary, at what level? Should it be left to parents at home, or should it be an academic exercise to be done in schools to help young girls to be able to have a problem-solving mind?
I would say from the time a young girl is born. So if it is primary, fine, but from the time a child is born, a child should be taught to look at things holistically. A child should be taught how to solve problems. So let's say a child is playing with toys and scatters the whole room with toys. A child should be taught that you should not leave the room scattered like this. You should pick it up. That is how to start.
What we do is we beat up the child.
No, there is a place for a child being spanked for doing something wrong. But you see, even that, you have to let the child understand why he's being spanked. A lot of people are doing things because mommy said I shouldn't do it, but they don't understand the implications in that. And that is what perhaps some of us are doing wrong as parents. Children must understand the implications of their actions and inactions. So it has to start from the home. We mustn't leave it to the teachers, because the children start from home before they enter the schools. So for me, in my personal opinion, training up a girl to look at situations holistically and to be a problem solver should start from the time she actually is able to understand things that happen around her. So from the time she's born, we have to try to inculcate that into her.
Okay, so in recent times, there has been an upsurge in women advocacy groups. How do you think this upsurge has affected retention of skilled women in various workplaces? Have we had a positive impact of a lot of women advocating for women's rights?
I think so far, with the whole upsurge now, it's getting more women to really understand what it means when we are talking about gender equity and gender equality. So for me, ever since, and this whole upsurge began from the president's comments at the Women Deliver. So then all of a sudden, a lot of women are now like, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? And in terms of retention of skilled labor, what is really the issue? So for me, I want to look at it in the light of it's been positive. Because it's allowed us to, as women, to look at ourselves and ask ourselves, what are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? Are we really not as vocal as we are supposed to be as women? In the terms of, are we really not voicing out our opinions? Or are we just sitting down in our rooms typing things? So it's allowed us to weigh our options and weigh what can be done and what can't be done, what is attainable, what is achievable. So I would rather want to say it's been positive, and there is still more that we as women advocacy groups, there is still more that we can do, and we are actually doing to lift up the image of women in the country, in the workforce, because women form the majority. Even in terms of small scale enterprises, women form the majority. So if we form the majority, then there is still more that we can do in terms of getting our voices heard. So I'll look at it in the positive light and say that yes, there's more we are doing and there's more that can be done.
You brought in a statement of equity, equality. Let's talk a little bit about equity and equality. Now we are saying that the men shouldn't feel threatened that their positions or their roles are at stake, and that it's not as if we are going to take over being a man. There's no way we can do that, but it's rather an add-on. Whatever role the empowerment of women is seeking to do, it's rather an add-on. Where do we draw the line between equity and equality?
So I recently saw, not recently, but there was this picture to try to explain gender equity and gender equality. So for me, equity, I'll take it in, let's say, the free SHS. There are equal opportunities for boys and girls to enter the school. That's equality. Everybody can come to school. Everybody can go to the hospital. Equity is, what are we going to do so that the woman doesn't feel like she shouldn't go to school? Or, you see, when there's one thing that works against young girls when they are going to school, that is menstruation. Some young girls, especially in the rural areas, they don't go to school when they are menstruating. So what are you've given her the opportunity to go to school, but what are you going to do so that she actually does go to school? So there have been programs where young girls are provided with sanitary pads. That is a way to give her equity. So that's an explanation of equality and equity. So that's what we are talking about. I mean, for now, I think for gender equality, we are okay. But when it comes to equity, we still have some few issues and some misconceptions and misunderstandings. Yes, the university says everybody can go to school. But then when you come into the system, we realize that there are cut-off points for male and female.
Okay.
So that is equity in that regard. So probably if there's a cut-off point of aggregate 14 for men, for women, it will probably be 16. So we can get more girls coming to do that course.
Okay.
So that is what I would explain about gender equity and gender equality.
Okay. So in wrapping up, what is the future for NEWIG like?
The future is bright. The future is very bright for us. We are an organization that believes in going beyond the skies.
Okay.
When we started this organization, we're looking at female-dominated areas. So we had gender careers like women in sewing, catering, hat making, hairdressing. But right now we've evolved.
Yes.
So NEWIG of 2002 is not the same NEWIG of 2016, 2017. We are now saying that why should there be gender roles? It should be neutral. Women should not feel intimidated to be in male-dominated areas like driving or building construction or welding or being a mechanic,
plumbing,
craftsmanship. There are so many opportunities out there. Agriculture, there are so many opportunities out there, and we as an organization, we are going to keep building on that to create more programs for young girls to be able to go anywhere and everywhere. We believe that the sky and beyond is the limit. So whatever we can do as an organization to give that young woman, the power to be able to do that, that is what we are going to do. So I mean, this is almost every day. My mom says it's just the starting point. So every day is just the starting point for NEWIG. We will come up with a new program, mechanic, welding, anything. But we want to say that there are no gender roles when it comes to career. If the men can swap and come and be caterers, then we can swap
and share.
So if the men don't see any intimidation in coming into our space, now men are also selling. Then why should a woman feel intimidated and think that this
is a space that has been tagged as a man's space,
and it's all in the mind? Nobody said that. We just woke up in the morning and said, no, this driving is for a man, no, this one is for a man. So it's something we created in our minds, and it's something we are here to debunk.
Yes, so it's something we are here to debunk, that this space is for a man, this space is not for a woman. We are here to disabuse our minds of all of those. Belinda, give me your final words after your internship with the PDS. You say you are looking forward to trying to start up something for yourself and move on. You mentioned something about going to tertiary.
Yes, please.
Okay, tell us more.
After the internship, I intend to, when I get back home, when I get the support first, then I'll open a shop with the help of NEWIG, because it gave me a lot of tools to start with my work. So when I get support from outside, then I'll be able to set a shop where I'll train other young ladies around to be able to do what I've been taught. And after that, when I get the money, and with the help of my dad, when he also gets some, then I'll add it up to go to the tertiary.
Okay, and what would you want to pursue in the tertiary?
Electrical engineering.
Okay, still electrical engineering.
Yes,
that is great. That is great. So you're looking forward to getting some job office people coming to you for you to do their domestic electrical works for them?
Yes, please.
Okay, so that is Belinda Akaba. She's a beneficiary of NEWIG, and she has been in the studio with Mawulawoe Anato-Dumelo, an acting executive director of a network of women in growth and they are doing marvelous things, marvelous things. They are breaking the barriers. They are saying that there is nothing like this is a job for men. It's only in our minds. Driving is a job for men, plumbing is a job for men, electricals is a job for men. They are disabusing the mindset that we've had all this while, and it's a good thing they are doing. And GNTV, as usual, business night, we are in support, and so we wish them well in whatever they are doing. So at this point, we'll call for some daily interbank forex rates and treasury bill rates. Okay, so that was the daily interbank forex and treasury bill rates on your screens just gone by. And so tonight we talked about empowering women entrepreneurs, and we had a focus on NEWIG, and we congratulate them. We congratulate Belinda and her other colleagues for taking up courses that otherwise were said to be for men. So Belinda did general electricals, so she can do some domestic fitting of electricals for you. And NEWIG is also still into the training of young girls and women entrepreneurs with the support from the NVTI and some donor companies from the USA and other parts of the country. And so we hope that government and all related institutions would actually assist in every way they can. So government for this time can actually help, Parliament can help see to the passing of the affirmative action bill into law, so that it can actually properly empower women and define help define a lot of things for women that would in the end empower women for more economic growth and development. So we say thank you, Mawulawoe, and thank you, Belinda. It was a pleasure having you in the studio tonight.
The pleasure is ours. Anyone that wants to know more about the organization can check us out on Facebook, Network of Women in Growth. You will find every information. We also have our contact numbers over there, so you can also call us if you are interested in being a part of our organization in terms of partnership. And we would also want to thank our founder, Madam Mausinu Dekwawiti, and the Empower Foundation, AWDF, Awitai Foundation, and the whole of Ghana. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you too. And so this has been Business Night on GNTV with me, Sandra Ofosu Dewornu. So do make a date with the team for more news in the world of business. Until next time, do enjoy the rest of your day and the rest of our programs.